This has been a wild trip. I've spent lots of time enjoying the beauty. I've spent times just crying, wandered around the campsite, just randomly crying. Spent time enjoying my bike ride. Spent time just crying on the bike ride. Very emotional trip. But this is helping me deal with grief.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's lost and found. That's the line, ladies and gentlemen.
So shortly before this year's Lost and Found, my dad passed away. The memorial was actually the Friday before the race, and I thought about backing out of the event entirely, obviously. This would have been a mistake, though. Doing what I do here at Bike Vids is one of the handful of things in this world that brings me true joy, reflection, and peace. That said, it does mean that this year's Lost and Found was different. I just had a lot of different things on my mind, and definitely extra emotional and sensitive. I really want to thank my friends who were up there: Uli, Credence, Shige, Jim, Tina, Kevin, some new people I just met or recently met. Sure, these are not necessarily my absolute closest friends, or for sure the friends I've known the longest, and no one asked for us all to kind of come together under my circumstance, but our paths did bring us together, and it really helped me having you there.
All right, folks, we're starting the day with this nice road climb up to Lake Davis and beyond. So about a 10 or 11 mile climb to start with. I did some stretching. I didn't do any warm up. So I think my goal here is just settle into a pace that is comfortable, because it's going to be a big day. Morning.
How's it going? Oh, hey, Greg.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm good, man.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Good, just, trying to settle in on this.
Yeah, absolutely. Those back there somewhere.
I saw him in the restroom this morning, so I'll catch up with him later.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Nice. Leolinski?
Yeah. I'm going to camp a couple days in Truckee afterwards.
Oh, that would be lovely.
Yeah, so just need a little time, a little getaway time.
Yeah, that sounds like Bike Vids good.
It is.
The theme song is the best.
Yeah.
Thanks for the content statement of the theme song.
Yeah, I have some pretty talented musician friends.
As we continue the miles and miles of climbing at the start of this race and hit the first dirt section, most of the Lost and Found is authentically off-road riding. It's nice to see people at events. Phil and Finn from the Spokesman, one of our best local bike shops. Community, right? Not in a cheesy way. It sounded kind of cheesy when I said it, or thought it, in a real way, seeing people from other events. Maybe these people recognize Bike Vids. Maybe they recognize the Bike Vids theme song. Either way, community is a big part of these events.
Here we're kind of heading, I guess, northwest. I'm not sure. I've ridden this trail before, and certainly feeling the altitude in terms of my wind energy, air energy compromised. All right.
I am no scientist, but I do think riding at altitude, a strenuous day, we're going to climb about 7,600 feet over 96 miles. The ride starts at about 5,000 feet of elevation and kind of peaks at maybe around 7 and spends a lot of time around 5,500. So yeah, riding at elevation is a thing. You get more tired, you can't breathe as good, and you just feel a little more exhausted. What we're doing here is we're going to drop into the first aid station, which I think me and probably many others just blew off. But what is fun about this graphic is looking in the top left corner, because you could see that, that elevation, and you could see what we're doing in that first part of a road initially and dirt. It's just this real big climb that starts the event, and then a little bit of a descent, and that's what takes us into that first aid station. Bike talk break, gonna have a bike talk break. It's a break where we talk about the bike that I'm riding. Oh geesh, I don't even really know where to start. My most recent Ibis Hakka and I were in a head-on crash with an e-mountain biker during a regular ride I do at Fort Ord National Monument. We were fine, the people were fine, small air quotes, but basically fine. About 2 weeks and 3 rides, and slightly less than 2 weeks before Lost and Found, I realized the down tube of the Hakka had been crushed in. The next day, I found out my dad passed away. And these two events kicked off my summer break and the road to Lost and Found and family mourning. And just, the state of mind that I am in as we speak. As of the time of this recording, I still have not gotten a replacement Hakka. After several kind, generous friends like Shige and Murphy, everyone, really, Uli, everybody, offered bikes to me, I went with my Lynxie, a titanium bike that I use for road riding and road touring. It did fit Shige's Zip 303s with 47 Terreno drives mounted on it. Although transforming this bike into a capable off-road machine, it wasn't ideal. It wasn't exactly what I was used to. But then again, at this point, I'm just happy to be a living human who gets to spend time in the forest. Speaking of which, camping in Portola, California. One of the best parts about heading to the Lost and Found. It's beautiful in a way, maybe if you're familiar with Tahoe. It's beautiful in that way, but more tranquil, quiet, certainly less touristy. Not that I'm against touristy spots per se. So everything is just a bit brighter there. The sights, and I'd especially say the smell that I personally love that wafts from the Sierras. Dan Pottist, if you're out there watching and listening, they even have a pretty elaborate disc golf course in their river walk area. That's where we camp for Lost and Found, but it's not normally a campground.
Okay, the game plan is try to get to the second rest stop before stopping, and I'm guessing that that's coming up fairly soonish. Been going through some fluids, some snacks, but mentally I'm feeling challenged. And I need to just ride my ride and block out really other people. I'm just thinking too much about other people. Just silly, dumb, and so I'm feeling dumb. Which isn't fun to be riding around feeling like an idiot.
Am I riding fast enough? Am I pushing hard enough? Am I pacing myself, having imposter syndrome, feeling self-conscious, self-doubt is not a fun way to experience what you're seeing, what we're doing, and all the greatness. It's a way to actually, the opposite is it blocks the greatness of being in the moment. And this was, just something that sometimes comes and goes, maybe for me and others. Being aware of that mindset is half the battle. Try to be in the moment. Obviously, eat and drink is a way to try to shake that off.
Awesome indeed. Wrong line. Woo. This has not been the most graceful descent.
From dirty trails, so many.
Maybe it's just me, but when you do kind of events like this, sometimes there are like mini saviors that come in and out of your life that fit a need maybe that you're having mentally, physically, without even knowing it. And then of course they come and go from your lives. Today it was basically following this woman. I don't know who they are, rides for Rock Lobster, amazing cyclist, just following her down probably what would be the most treacherous descent. There were literally people like flatting left and right, some pretty bad crashes I think also. Just following her down this entire descent was like, wow, like I am trusting you for a reason. And it just really helped me out.
Here we go.
We're headed into this beautiful valley, the low point of the ride, rest stop 2, where I would say most riders, including myself, actually did stop. And that's because you could see that we're descending if you're looking at the little mappy poo up there. But the next big and second just and last big climb of the day is coming. And so, yeah, like people are just like, we're trying to get our shit together. Coming into the second aid area, you could see on the left, gravel hero Sofia Gomez Villafane expertly executing a rest stop. And on the right, you see me. When I come into a rest stop, often my head, my brain is like not really able to process like what is happening now. But being efficient and smart at rest stops is a good way to keep you feeling good, keep your bike feeling good, and get back to riding. Check the profile. We're here, the crucial stage in the entire day. Make it up this climb and feel good for the last 45, 50 miles.
I've led a dedicated life. I've led a dedicated life. And now they're scratching at the window with the rhythm of the window, so it's hard to hear, hard to hear, hard to hear, hard to hear. Scratching at the window with the rhythm of the window, so it's hard to hear tonight.
Yes. Oh my God. All right. To reiterate, my plan is to try to feel good at around mile 55. This is very challenging because to get to that, we have to do the second, I'd say, very hard climb of the day. So I have to find my pace and try to not overdo it, which is hard when you're basically climbing something super steep, and it's very hot. Ah! Bullshit.
Long story short, this section kicked my ass, a phrase that my father, Bob, was known to say from time to time. I did not finish this segment feeling quote-unquote good, and the con of that mostly is that there's like 50 more miles to ride, but those miles are fairly flat, like miles that if you were feeling good and feeling strong would be just so fun to, like, you know, put some power down and really enjoy, where honestly for the rest of the ride I was basically on the struggle bus.
He had white horses and ladies by the score.
I think a lot of people agree that these sections are just some of the best of the Lost and Found, where you're cruising through the forest, nothing, no massive uphills, no treacherous downhills, just beautiful ride through the forest.
Just had a little crash. I'm okay. It's just feeling very emotional today. You have a washout, front tire washout on a rut. It was about as good as a crash could be.
It had some dark miles. I'm realizing now, I didn't even film just a lot of stuff, mostly from this last road climb and then into a massive headwind back into town. But guess what? I finished. I got 17th place out of maybe 50. I could let you know. Of people in my age division, and finished in about 7 hours and 20 minutes. I think, honestly, if I would have been feeling great, I probably could have shaved 15 minutes off of that, for sure. Maybe even a little more. But, you know, it is what it is. I kind of don't like that saying, but it is true. And I've already been thinking about what worked, what didn't work, and how I could, maximize the experience for future rides, not necessarily for higher placings, but for better feelings, right? To feel good out there and have as much fun as you can.
All right, well, it's all over now.
No money could save him, so he laid down and he died. Ooh, what a lucky man he was. Ooh, what a lucky man he was.
Thank you.
So that was Lost and Found 2025, the long course. Highly recommend, but mostly what I hope is that you're out there riding your bikes, being safe, having fun. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment. Let's grow the channel. or not, you know? Anyway, hope you're doing well, and we'll see you next time on Bike Vids. Ciao.